How are you guys? Welcome to World Crypto Finance. If you felt that the Bitcoin industry has become rather monotonous recently. In this video, we have the SEC going to go on a rampage and clamp down on as many cryptocurrency companies as possible. You best get ready because things are about to get completely insane. We're going to talk about a recent case. We're also going to discuss a statement from Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple about what is happening right now in the United States and why a settlement in the Ripple SEC case, right now, might be more likely than ever. They recently reached a settlement with Kraken, and we're going to discuss the implications of that case on the entire cryptocurrency industry as well as some brand new cases that are about to get dropped that are right around the corner. Prior to that, be sure to watch the entire video to ensure that you are not going to miss it as usual. If you want to see more videos on this channel, please support it. Like this, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons below and turn on bell notifications. These 3 easy steps will help you out a lot. And assisting in the expansion of our channel, you guys are just amazing. Need a reliable source to purchase some XRP? Make sure to look at it, or the Flare token. As I mentioned in the introduction, things are going to get incredibly crazy in the cryptocurrency world. The SEC is about to go on an all-out rampage and try to shut down as many crypto products as possible. With that said, let's get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. We really had a very interesting development where the SEC hit hard. I want to discuss who they're going to pursue next and what just occurred with them and Kraken, but I also want to discuss why it might not be as catastrophic as many people are claiming on the surface toward the end of the video. However, I want to make a change and discuss why I believe this could be advantageous for a settlement between Ripple and the SEC. We require a few extremely important items. If they don't reach a settlement with Ripple, we'll discuss how the SEC's rampage against cryptocurrency could be halted. Be sure to listen to the conclusion to learn more about this. But before we get started, let's review a tweet from Eleanor Terrett, who has been remarkably accurate in predicting every action the SEC will do. Because she consistently publishes a scoop or a forecast of what the SEC will do next, it appears that she actually has a source on the inside of the SEC. She remarked earlier today, "Scoop," and it is shown to be extremely correct. In an effort to seize control of all cryptocurrency, Gary Gensler is planning a midnight massacre. In the next weeks, the SEC and other organizations will bring a variety of enforcement proceedings against exchanges, banks, and other organizations that manufacture tokens and try to classify most of them as securities. According to what I've been informed, Gary Gensler's plan is to initiate as many enforcement actions as she can while the 118th Congress is still getting its bearings. In essence, Gary Gensler is acting in this manner because he realizes that the incoming Congress will attempt to impede his progress. We actually see the beginning of this crusade against cryptocurrencies since Gary Gensler and some other groups are about to file as many cases as they can to try to force the cryptocurrency field within the SEC's authority. This is a huge loss because, to be honest, I really like the features of staking on exchanges are nice and easy, and you don't have to make any transfers to external wallets, you don't have to fiddle with any smart contracts, and as long as you follow the SEC's rules, you shouldn't have any problems. However, earlier today, with the SEC actually suing Kraken now, the SEC was only going to after cracking and staking, and essentially what? It's wonderful to have some there to sort of diversify where you hold your cryptocurrency, but it appears the SEC is cracking down and trying to outlaw all staking on these exchanges. Securities now, despite the fact that this initially seems quite horrible, I don't believe it to be as bad as many people are going to make it out to be for 2 key reasons. 1, it doesn't appear that the SEC has much power to prevent us from placing our own bets. While this kind of stinks because it eliminates part of the ease of having these exchanges, the SEC can only block exchanges from staking. Stake your cryptocurrency for you, it's not the end of staking or anything of the sort. Another crucial factor to take into account was mentioned by Jake Travisky. Concessions are not laws. The SEC believes that staking as a service is a security breaking, but didn't confirm or deny it, and they've decided that the economics of settling are better than battling any longer. It may be a challenging question either way. but neither has the SEC responded. But what Jake is emphasizing today, Kraken, this is actually pretty significant, did not actually ever acknowledge that their staking product was a security. Instead, they merely promised to discontinue without making any admissions or denials. They just announced that they would no longer provide staking as a service. This indicates that the SEC will not be able to utilize it as evidence to point out irregularities. It's important to note the difference here, as well as the fact that he says staking as a service. This means that the SEC is now only going after exchanges staking your tokens for you. They're not going after you directly. Kraken admitted that their staking was a security, so every other cryptocurrency exchange in the United States has to stop staking. Many of them may stop speaking because they don't want this same thing to happen to them. It's crucial to note this as the SEC intensifies its crypto cases. We must be certain that we actually monitor what the SEC does. This appears to be quite Kraken-like right now. They only received a decision from Kraken that they would stop their staking. They didn't win a decision on exactly what Kraken was staking. Since it was never explicitly stated that staking provided security, it really stings. It stings to crack it. Consumers, but it's not a significant loss. ELON tweeted about a case the SEC appears to be preparing to bring against Paxos, which is interesting because it targets a stablecoin directly. Additionally, I heard that the SEC may also be considering taking legal action against Circle. It appears that the SEC is attempting to smuggle coins into this jurisdiction, so zoom out and look at what's happening. In the XRP case, the SEC is attempting to bring the cryptocurrency tokens themselves under its purview. They are also attempting to bring the exchanges with whom we are dealing under their purview. Right now, we are Kraken and Coinbase. As ELON had earlier tweeted, the SEC is currently suing as many different cryptocurrency companies as it can in an effort to bring the entire industry under their control. As you can see, they are also attempting to obtain stable coins. Actually responding to this, Brad Garlinghouse stated, "Yes, it stinks. Happening in the US, but nations everywhere are giving us the certainty we require to manage our businesses," he said. Dubai, the UK, and Australia. Brazil and South Korea are also offering guidelines to help cryptocurrency businesses adhere to the law. Companies involved in cryptocurrency are not looking. They are seeking regulations in order to avoid regulation so they can follow the law. Eventually, guys, the United States will be forced to submit because they will be unable to continue. About suing each and every business that attempts to incorporate in the United States, or else they will leave. Currently, we consider the SEC to be innovative. Although it stinks to see the SEC step up these enforcement actions, at least we are seeing the rest of the world advance, which just means eventually the United States will be forced to capitulate. Playing hardball, we see them doing regulation by enforcement and cracking down on this base, but eventually they will go too far and they are going to be told to stop, according to Brad Garlinghouse. So I wanted to speak once this video was over. The first thing I want to talk about before I talk about a settlement is the fact that I really do think this makes the chance that the SEC appeals the decision in the Ripple SEC case a lot less likely. It is that there will be a massive amount of enforcement actions coming down the road to cryptocurrency companies all over the industry. It appears like the SEC will be committing a lot of its efforts to various cryptocurrency lawsuits, which makes me believe that even if they lose the Ripple case, they'll move on. Okay, fine. There are plenty additional cases. I believe that eventually they won't give it any more thought to bring cryptocurrencies under our legal control. They appear to be much more hesitant to pick off the low-hanging fruit than they did to Ripple, and ultimately, I do believe that if they were, they would actually be holding back some of their resources for fighting the next battle against Ripple. The news is good. I also want to discuss the factors that, in my opinion, greatly increase the likelihood of a settlement. Before I discuss the factors, however, I want to discuss why a settlement is more likely. The reason why I believe a settlement is more possible is because the SEC is currently frantically seeking victories. Attorney Bill recently explained why a settlement would be so advantageous for Ripple. want the SEC to persuade all other American regulators that cryptocurrency is under their purview. They cannot afford to lose out on the position of XRP. Attorney Bill stated in a tweet that the SEC benefits greatly from a settlement with Ripple, even if it stipulates that XRP is not to be treated as a security and is sold by Ripple. This implies that Bill sees a possibility for the SEC to actually reach a settlement with Ripple, even if they maintain that XRP is not a security protocol. Not even the XRP sold for Ripple, he claimed, as it would have amounted to a significant fine for a result that justifies the lawsuit. He also said that there would have been no disclosure of the Hinman emails or an unfavorable decision on Fair Notice 5, which is perhaps the most crucial decision on the Blue Sky investment contract issue. As we saw this week, the defendants in SEC vs. Wahi have made this argument for a second time. If Ripple wins on this point. In this video, I can't fully describe what Lawyer Bill is saying, but basically, if the SEC loses this case against Ripple, it would be extremely detrimental for the SEC's cryptocurrency. Ripple's legal argument was the Blue Sky laws. The SEC would base all of its regulatory aspirations for the cryptocurrency business on this single case. That is not going well for them at all. Attorney Bill and I appear to be in agreement that it would make far more sense for the SEC to simply acknowledge that, hey, XRP is not a security protocol. Ripple, you alone win, but we're going to pursue the rest of the cryptocurrency market, and since we reached a settlement with you, we may now do that now that everyone is familiar with the SEC. The SEC has demonstrated that they are a wild card and will act in illogical ways, so do I believe that this means that they will settle? We'll have to wait and see, but even if they don't, we should have a decision in the Ripple SEC case by the end of February or beginning of March, so we're probably getting close. For a while, it seemed like these sunshine meetings would yield almost no news, but for the upcoming few months, I think we're going to have to pay close attention to them because, as Eleanor tweeted out, the SEC is looking to start a midnight massacre targeting every cryptocurrency company they can. We also got a big announcement today, on a Thursday. Let's keep an eye on each of these after one of these meetings. Check out what else the SEC has planned. And let's hope that this is only the start. Guys, I appreciate your presence and hope that the Ripple case has come to a conclusion. I hope you liked this update. If so, please click like and subscription really does mean a lot, so choose a lot for the time being.